friend.
Hello, hello. Welcome to another amazing episode of Purpose, Power, Pleasure with Tanisha.
And Malia.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today and for tuning in. We have had such an amazing journey with you guys with our episodes and all of our tea and our conversation and everything. And we're just so grateful for you guys to come and listen to us, during these episodes and just to stay tuned and make sure to share with your friends too. Friends, family, get your kiki in, get your information from our podcast, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. You're not charged anything to subscribe, but make sure to share and and everything and comment and email us too if you have any questions about any of the content, any of the things that we're talking about. So, Malia, how was your week?
It was really I'm getting ready to migrate, as you know.
Yeah.
So, for listeners who don't know, I spend the winter with my family in Hawaii, which is where I'm from. And so I'm getting ready to go. It's for a long time. And so, you just have to get like the house ready, the nails. And by the way, this isn't a broken nail. I gave myself the most wicked paper cut. I'm just I
Really?
was trying to do a lot this weekend. So the paper cut was just like a little reminder of like, slow down, girl. You literally
Yes.
sliced your finger open.
Oh man.
So I was seeing friends. I went and saw the rehearsal of this theater group called Liars and Believers,
Oh,
and they co-create plays with the actor based on a theme. So, like, let's say, like, the theme was purpose, power, pleasure, and you and I were the actors. So we
mm-hmm.
would sit down and we'd be like, okay, what is the story? And then we literally improvise the script,
Improv.
but you make it a script, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the script becomes the play, but it's like improv
Oh,
created.
yes. Oh, that's amazing.
It was fascinating. Like, so when
Wow.
I first got there, I sat down and it was like start and stop, right? Because like they were trying to figure out this like it's clowns and the apocalypse, and it's gonna be this very hilarious play. But
Yeah.
so they were trying to figure out this clown sword fight. And at first I was like, oh, wait, this is a lot of starts and stops, right? Because like in improv, it's like, okay, we're doing this, but now we
Yeah.
got to bring the other clown in. So
Yes.
what's her line? How does she come in? But
Mm-hmm.
once you get into the rhythm of seeing like the creation,
Mm-hmm.
it was absolutely fascinating. And one of the clowns, her name is Peanut, and she's a black female clown, and she had like kente cloth like over her like purple clown hair, and then these big like earrings. Like it was just it's these young people doing it. It's absolutely fabulous. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a lot of running trying to get ready to leave for 3 months.
Right.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. Always very busy, as you know. There's always so much going on with the kids and just with work and everything. I actually had an amazing opportunity to participate in the Principal Partners Program. It's through the Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, and it's an amazing program that supports principals of Boston Public Schools. And so I was able to shadow a principal last week and was able to provide her with resources through our programming, through Living Our Boston, Made Incubator, and our youth programming. And we're working out now how we can support them with transportation and just like different experiences for the kids. And so we're really, really diving deep into that. And so that was a very enlightening, incredible experience to see the day in the life of a principal they have to deal with. Malia, when I tell you, I was in like 5 meetings with her before 10 a.m. Like back to back to back. It was strategy. It was just like, it was nonstop. And then in between the meetings, we're having to get up because there's like last minute things with the kids. And then, if someone's not, participating in class or what, it was just like, it was a lot. And so I just give a shout out to Danielle Costello. She's at the Hernandez School in Boston, and her and I had an amazing morning together. And we had a debrief after at Bank of America with the Chamber of Commerce and all the leaders that were involved. So it was an incredible time. I also want to give a shout out to Rise Women's Conference.
Oh my God, that looks so
It was so
amazing.
amazing. It was so amazing. I want to show you guys like some of the content because it was just incredible. Like, so I was a moderator for Leading with Authenticity, and it was the perfect conversation, obviously, for me to lead. And the women on the panel were just so incredible. But we had so much fun in our room, in our breakout. When I tell you, everybody was just like, I really got the crowd going. Like, we were all like, we had very intimate conversation, but it was definitely like a girls group. Like, it felt like a girls group, like a
Yes.
together. We had so much fun in our room. And so I had mentioned very briefly during like my intro and like some of my experiences that I have been a singer all my life, went through Berklee College of Music, all the things. And so everybody in the audience was like, oh, so like forget about all this. Like, we need to hear you sing. Like, you can't just mention that and just like mic drop and then like not sing. And I was like, no, 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 no. I haven't sang in a long time. Like, we're here for, this conversation and all that stuff. When I tell you, Malia, we get into the conversation. Obviously, I'm giving my 2 cents, giving my feedback and what everyone's saying. People in the audience would not let it go. They were like chanting for me to sing. And I was like, are you kidding me? So it just so happened, it was so funny and I loved it so much. Just so happened, the woman on my panel, it was her birthday the next day. And so I was like, you know what, everybody? I was like, we're all gonna sing. I was like, everyone stand up. And I was like, I'm gonna sing Katie happy birthday. And so I started singing happy birthday and I recorded the whole thing and everyone started
I
singing.
saw it on the socials. It was
Yeah.
so good. And I think it was the first time I've heard you sing.
Right, Malia. Yeah, I don't think you've ever heard me sing. I know, I know. I
And
don't.
I respect it being a part of your life and past and not something you do now. But I'm
Yeah.
happy that the crowd got you to tap back in it because maybe, I mean, you grow now. You may have different things to say.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I and my sisters and I, we talk about it all the time, like singing and like doing something. And like, it's very possible that something could, be done and could come out of it. But it's like I'm so busy with so many things now. It's like
Right.
not even
And that's why you don't need to set an expectation for it, but just
right.
you're dusting it off a little bit. Just
Exactly.
dusting it off,
And it felt good.
remembering it's on the shelf.
Yes. So we had an amazing time. It was like such incredible leaders there. And that was amazing. So shout out to everyone at the Rise Women's
And
Conference.
it reinforces for me too, because I had a conference last week that I'm not mentioning because I actually ended up reading them and then leaving.
Oh, okay.
Like,
We'll talk
but
offline.
the reinforcement of that
Yeah.
for me was just where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I want to be in conferences like Rise, right? Like we have so much going on that
Yeah.
we need to actually spend time in spaces
Exactly.
with people who love you,
Yes.
who want
It
to
was that
support
vibe.
you, who want you to support them,
It was
who want
amazing.
to build that community.
Mhm.
So, I just like thank you for letting them build you so then you have this story for us and then we can remember what we used to do
I
and
know.
like just bravo for the week, mama.
Yeah.
Bravo for the week. And also boo to school buses that didn't show up today. And so just because I know ladies, like, you know,
The
we
juggling.
all go through similar things. And so before we filmed today, Tanisha, the school bus didn't come, and but look how good Tanisha still looks,
You
and all of this because we just pushed it back. We made time, and, so boo to the school
know,
buses, yay to the ladies' conferences,
yes.
yay to your leadership. I posted a picture of you along with a couple other ladies on Sunflower this weekend because I saw this. Some man in power said women would never be happy if they have a career. And
Oh,
so I
about
put that quote.
Ludacris.
And then I just put some pictures of me and my girlies. And so,
I
of course, you were one of them. And
yes.
what I loved about it is it was the women in my pictures were, I mean, yes, they were all cis, but they were like straight, gay, moms,
Mm,
not moms, moms with kids at home, moms with kids that are away.
yes.
It was like the spectrum
Yep.
of career women,
Yep.
and it just made me so proud. Like my first post, I actually had like 20 pictures because I was like just trying to get all the bad, like, oh, me and Ayana, me, like just trying to get every bad career bitch I know. And then I
Right.
was like, ain't no one trying to see your slideshow of your summer bitch. Just pick a couple of them and keep it moving.
Oh my.
But just so like shout out, I love this week for you.
Oh
And check out Made Incubator to see all of the posts, but also you can see Tanisha singing,
yeah.
which
And you
is
more,
wonderful.
I might do some more of it. You never know.
I mean, listen,
I know.
I'm never going to ask that. And I'm just saying that because I
Hmm.
worked for someone who was always asked that, like people always wanted Harry to sing. Obviously, that's why
Yeah.
we know him. But like, you're allowed to perform when you want to perform. We
Right.
didn't pay tickets,
Right.
like now if I pay a ticket, girl, you better
Have to
sing. Exactly. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
but also I'm not going to be mad if all of a sudden, and I will also say that one day, like one of my birthdays, Harry actually sang happy birthday to me in
Oh,
public. And it was like, like to me, like, I mean, it was the highlight of,
yeah.
a lot of my birthdays that I've had. So thank you for doing that for Katie too. Okay. Question of the week,
Hmm.
because it is the time of year where I start getting depressed. It's cold.
Hmm.
It's dark by 4. It's windy.
Hmm.
Like it's
Oh my.
just getting to that time where for me, I know some people love the cold. Like I like to say this is why I go to Hawaii because I'm a coconut tree in Boston. So like when the winter comes, I have like no defenses.
Right.
I have no thick blood. I have nothing.
Yeah.
But I was driving to Quincy this weekend and I don't even remember what road I was on, but the trees were showing off. And they were just these beautiful, and it like they were enough that it was still kind of hanging over, and you were kind of driving into like this tree beauty. And then I was driving by Franklin Park, and just sort of seeing, people are putting up. I mean, I even saw um, some Christmas ornament, people are, and I was like, listen, if you need joy now, get up the Christmas,
Oh yeah.
ornaments and all of that. But I was like, as much as complain about this, there is something special about
Yeah.
this moment and, and the equinox. I mean, energetically,
Yeah.
it's like an ending and a contracting, but it's also this beautiful thing of holidays and
Yeah.
families. So that's what I love about this moment and what I think about to not get depressed. How do you do it, sis? And you're from the cold. So like you grew up in it.
I'm from here. For me, every year I say the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, the cold, the snow again. And I'm like, I still haven't gotten used to it. Like, it's still like, ugh, I'm going to do this again. The kids love it. But for me, I just try to trick myself, like, out of not thinking about the bad stuff because I used to get seasonal depression a lot, and especially since my mom has passed, it becomes depressing. And my sisters and I will talk about her, and we'll talk about memories and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll play the music that she used to play. I'll play it throughout the house when we're like decorating the tree and things like that. Those things make me feel good, so I just try to fill my cup with things that make me feel good and not sit in what is not and what is not anymore. I just really try to like look to more positive things. Doing things with the kids, like taking them out and doing things with them. me and Joel having a date night or like having a movie night. I love movie nights. Like me and the kids and Joel, like we always have movie nights. So like we'll do that. I'll invite the kids over. Like right now we're planning the Friendsgiving for the kids and their best friends, and we're gonna have them over with their parents, and so like different things like that to kind of fill up my cup with like good fun experiences really helps me because I'm a person that's like always upbeat anyway. And so, like, when I start to think about things and go into a spiral, it can kind of go deep because I typically don't try to go that way. So, for me, like, I just need to continue to have fun and keep like fun things happening around me to kind of not fall into that. So,
Totally. And I love, that is something like the holidays, the eggnog,
yeah.
like the sweaters, the
Oh my God.
blankets, and
Yes.
just seeing those as like fun things you get to do.
Oh,
I did go out with this guy for a while who liked snowboarding back in college, so I would go
oh,
snowboarding. And like, if you like that, I mean, since we broke up, I haven't been back, so it lets you know how into it I was.
that,
But if you like that, that's a lot of fun. Like, I would probably, like, if I was here for the winter, go up and just stay in the lodge.
oh,
Like,
we talk about doing that, going to a cabin and like, and we probably would only do it for like 2 days because the kids would get bored after a while. Like,
exactly, but do a day of snowshoeing,
yep,
just stuff like that. And, drinking hot toddies and hot chocolates with
yep.
marshmallows and
Oh yeah.
all of that.
Chocolate bar at my house for Christmas. Like that's like our signature. Like I put out all the things for the hot chocolate. My kids love hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate because I don't drink coffee or anything like
Right.
that.
Yeah. See, I don't drink coffee either. I'm a tea person.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. So like that's like I absolutely love doing that. So yeah, that's
well, let us know what you love about this season and about this turn into the holidays. And, we are always looking for fun ways to get through. And I will say also, I send love to all of you. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Um, and so I will also, maybe I'll put up some shorts and stuff about how we in Hawaii, because we actually have this Santa in City Hall, and he's in surf shorts and an aloha shirt. And we have like this, like, water fountain thing in front of City Hall. So his feet are in the water and he's doing shaka, and it's like Hawaiian surfer Santa,
that is
because
so
he's like, he'd die of heat wearing what Santa wears for y'all. So
great.
yeah, like maybe I'll do a couple of shorts,
That would be fun. Yes.
and so you can see how we do Hawaii in the warmth.
Yeah.
So listen, Tanisha and I always talk about the show. And like there's no real nice way to get into the deep dive we're doing today. And what we want to talk about today is what's what's going on with Epstein and the files, but more than that, we have survivors walking amongst us on this podcast, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
we, if and by survivor, you also may be holding your friends, right? You may have been the person that someone called. And so even if something hasn't happened to you, we all need to come together and support survivors, because we're one lucky night
Yep.
away from being a survivor. And some of us aren't didn't have that luck that night or that day or that moment. So we're not talking about this politically, because to be honest, if you're on those files, if you're in a church, if you're
Right.
hurting children under the jail, and I don't even believe in the criminal, like, prison industrial complex, but if I was going to say jail was appropriate for a criminal, it's that. Um, Tanisha, I just lost you. So I'm going to pause. Okay, you're
I'm
back.
back.
I'll
Wi-Fi.
just yeah, exactly,
All right.
and not only that, it wasn't that long, so I'm not gonna edit it out because I don't really know how to do that. Anyway,
Okay.
you're back.
I am
Um,
back. But no,
so
Malia. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
no, no, what I was gonna say is why
Okay.
don't we roll the video of the survivor stories or of the commercial that the survivors put out? Because
Yeah.
the other thing I wanna say about this is a time when I say we support survivors and
Hmm.
we listen to survivors. So if you're, we let survivors lead at this moment. They
Yeah.
decide what the punishment is. They decide what like, and I don't
Hmm.
mean punishment as in legal. I mean the societal.
Yeah.
So, I think I have figured out how to do this.
Oh,
So we're about to see. Can you see the commercial?
I can't.
Okay. Let me. Oh, you know why? Because I got to add it to stage per usual.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay, now
Thank-
you see it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so let's play this and then we'll jump in.
Okay.
I suffered so much pain.
So much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain. I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
Mm.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
All right.
Thank you, Malia, for sharing that because this is definitely an important, difficult, and necessary conversation about survivors. And, this is not just a headline or a scandal, it's a real story with real people. And so I feel like, it's our job and our duty as leaders in the community, having a podcast, having a voice to really bring light to this topic. And so I really, really applaud and appreciate you for sharing that clip. Where could people see that? Is that on YouTube? That was on YouTube, yeah?
Yep, that's on YouTube and a lot of there's also it being shown and I'm just going to keep this hotline number up. Actually, you know
Yes,
what? Maybe I can run it as
at
a
the bottom.
banner. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can
it'll be
do that.
amazing because their lives are changed forever. It's shaped by trauma and exploitation, and the systems have failed them. And like they said, it's been 5 administrations, and there still has been no justice. And so my prayers always go out to them and their families and how they're able to deal with this and cope with this because there are so many individuals that still have not come forward that have been in other situations even if it's not Epstein. There are survivors that are going through this that are afraid to speak up and to come out and say what their experience is. And so it's just something that continues to happen, and I just anyone that's watching this, if you're a survivor, if you know someone that has gone through something like this, or, you know, be a resource for them, be a support system for them. If they don't want to speak up for themselves, try to advocate for them in some sort of way. Reach out and give support because that is what's needed to really get through this. And like Malia said, we are all in this together and we're all here to support each other. And so, this is it's heavy. It's a very heavy.
And part of it too is it's heavy because you don't know if you're actually going to be
Exactly.
like I don't know when sexual assault started, but it feels
Yeah.
like it's been around for a long damn time.
Yeah.
And so I'm not trying to say that but how we deal with it
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the shame that women have, and you see why. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the fact that we're debating it, does being a, you know, PDF file
Mm-hmm.
start if you like children at 14 or 10?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I mean, Megan Kelly, like, to you, trying
Yeah.
to explain, like, well, 15-year-old, you have a 14-year-old girl, Megan
Right.
Kelly.
I know.
Like, you know, so
It's
when you see the
unbelievable.
society react, um, and so, you know, we put down the sexual assault hotline, but Tanisha, I know you also looked into it a little bit and, you know, you grabbed some stuff and I grabbed some stuff. So,
Mhm.
you know, if you want to go ahead and get started with just how we, you know, just this is all about diving deep with supporting survivors. So
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that we need to emphasize their voices and the foundation of truth at this time. And we definitely do have resources, and I'll probably provide more resources at the end. But just really want to understand the scale and the dynamics of what this is and how people can really seek support, because a lot of it is it's abuse, it's emotional abuse, it was physical abuse. And so how do people get past that? And I always say to myself, like, they're predators know their prey, they know their target and who they can kind of prey on. And although I didn't personally go through anything like this in my lifetime, I know people that have, and a majority of them did not speak up until they were well in their 30s, mid 30s, even 40s. And so it's like, what is the mental behind that, and all of the devastation and terror and horror that that causes in someone's head, to keep that and to hold that with you throughout your life? Like, that part to me is just like, wow. And I look at it like, oh, I ask myself, like, oh, if this was to happen to me, would I have kept it that long? Well, like, how would I deal with something like that? I personally, because of how I am, I'm just like a very outspoken, just I'm a very outspoken person. I've been like this since I've been very, very little. So I would like to think that as a child, I would have spoken up to, like, my mother or my father or someone around me. But it's very possible that maybe that might not have happened. So,
Well,
like,
also, and who was it? Right? I think
exactly.
like
And
that,
who,
you know,
yeah,
when it ends up being someone
that's
who
very close
everyone
to you, a
loves,
family
whether that's
member,
in a
someone,
family
yeah,
dynamic or in
yes.
a world dynamic where
Hmm.
we love wealthy, powerful men so they can
Yeah,
just grab them by the pee, you
yes.
know, like it becomes what is it worth? And I think, you know, we started, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like one of our first podcasts was like the Diddy verdict or something,
Yes,
right?
it
Like,
was. Yeah, we talked about.
and, you know, we
Hmm.
talked about just people sort of dismissing Cassie because it's like, oh, you're a pretty girl married to a rich
Exactly.
man.
Yeah,
So, you know, you should have just, if you didn't leave, then you deserved it. And,
right.
you know, I think like with these young girls, you know, and so I can speak to now, I will say, like, I have been blessed in the sense that I have never been like violently sexual assaulted, right? Like
Me
I
neither.
always say, like, I've been protected by the prayers around me
Yes.
because I have been in situations that could have led to very uncomfortable things. And I've also
Mhm.
had people who I've loved and respected and consider mentors stop mentoring me because I, you know, so like
Mhm.
I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
those kinds of situations, as
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure you
absolutely.
have.
Oh,
But
yes.
what's been triggering for me is growing up in Hawaii, there's a lot of military.
Mhm.
And you're taught at a young age. And like, I didn't realize that there's like this culture of grooming. And so I don't even mean like it's individuals, although I can think of certain girls who would tell me this. But the thought is if you want to get off the island, you had to find you a military guy
Really?
because the military guys and they have health care and they
Wow.
have, you know, permanent income and
Mhm.
it's a way off the island. And so, you know, you interact with, and at the time you're thinking like, well, these military guys, they're 19, they're 20, you know, they're not that much older. I mean, we're 16,
Right,
you know,
right.
but like these are
Wow.
guys in the military, right? And I
Yeah.
remember my mother, like guys would call the house and my mother would be like, that's a grown ass man. Like you are not like delete what the hell, like,
Wow.
and thank goodness, like I had, and I'm not saying like we didn't make out with them or you know what I mean, like, or anything like that, but that was just this accepted culture. And there's
Yeah.
this story that came to me as an adult because it was, I didn't even think about it as a kid, right? Like you don't even
Right.
think about, wait, this is inappropriate.
Mhm.
Because again, you're a child, you don't know what's appropriate, you don't know
Exactly.
what's not, right? Like I had braces when my mother had to pick me up from a Marine base at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah. And the reason why my mom had to pick me up is because me and my girl got in over our head. You know what I mean? Like we ended up at a party at a Marine barracks in Hawaii. And we were like, oh, wait, like we were still virgins. You know what I'm saying? So we were like,
Mhm.
what is going on? Like we are out of our depth,
That's
right? Like
what's
we thought
wrong.
we were
Very
some
sad.
sophisticated grown up.
Right.
We were none of that. And you don't know that until you get out of your depth. And
Oh
so we
my God.
ran from the barracks. And then we were like, we're just going to walk home because our lie was still good. But then, like, we're walking on a Marine base. So, like, these cars, you know what I mean? Like, and we were just scared at that point. So we ran to the military police. They, like, see these two children, right? These two girls.
Mhm.
And they're like, why are you here? How did you get on base? Because we don't even have IDs. And
Wow.
how did we get on base? We hid in the trunk. Literally, two girls hid
Malia,
anywhere.
I
And no,
never.
but this is how, and like this is, and like the dudes drive two girls at a time onto the base. Like anyway, like so,
Oh my goodness.
or they're friends at MP, and then they like if they're friends at, but like this is literally the planning that happens, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, like we just got in, like we don't know, like I'm like I just need to call my mom because my girl was being raised by a single father. I was being raised by a single mother. So we were like, we got to call my mom. Well,
Right.
my mother called my friend's dad.
Oh gosh. What?
And so anyway, but I think about that story and like for me, like that's and it's a funny story because it all worked out.
Yeah.
Right. But then I think about one of our other girlfriends who was in another car being snuck in, who stayed and she didn't run. And she ended up getting pregnant at 16 by a Marine.
What?
And her mother, because her mother was not like my girlfriend's dad or my mom, single parents, but still, working in team to get their children through high
Yes.
school. Her mom signed her off to him.
What?
So he ended up getting stationed somewhere else and she went with him. And so Tanisha, like, I don't know what happened. And like,
Oh
again,
my
like we were
God.
16. So, like we were just like, oh yeah, like, well, this is, we didn't even have baby daddy terminology at that point, right? As you know. So
Right.
it was like, well, this is the father of her children. They're going to get married. The mom signed the papers so they could get married. And so now she's off. And I don't know whatever became, you know what I mean? Like, and I wish I even remembered her last name so I could try to look her up. Like, I should actually look in my yearbook, but like,
Yeah, that is what? Was she devastated or what? Do you remember like
no,
how?
like she was
Oh,
because her mother was not, you know what I mean? Like her mother was an alcoholic.
oh my God.
Like, so
Wow.
for her, she
It was
was
just
making, she found this man who loves her, who
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to take care of her and the baby. Now, we all know that, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
but
mm.
so, so as all of this conversation is coming out, like that's what's being triggered for me, like
Yeah.
the times when I'm like, when I was at a restaurant, like with, a business person having a business meeting
Oh
or a
yeah.
business dinner, like, and like that's why now, like, if you want to have a business conversation with me, we don't do dinner.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because it took me a couple of years to realize that, like, oh, wait, they meet with the men for lunch.
Right.
But
Oh my,
I'm just so happy to get a meeting
exactly.
that
Oh yeah.
I'm going to take it.
There have been so many instances that my sisters and I have been Oh my God. We literally will talk about things now like the type of men, because we were in the entertainment industry.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I mean, this is where, I mean,
What?
Weinstein is the
When I tell you the entertainment industry is, oh my God, that's like all that's in the industry. It's disgusting. But I remember being in meetings with producers, with songwriters, with all these people, with our mother. Our mother was, so let me just say this. My mother was very, very, very overprotective of me and my sisters. Like we went nowhere alone.
that's
We were
right.
a part of no conversations alone, nothing. And so when I tell you, she was like a part of everything. So I feel like there was a certain amount, there was only a certain, amount of conversation that people were going to have with us because she would have shut it down and she wasn't having it. But I remember vividly having conversations, and I was like 12, 13, might have been even younger, with producers and songwriters being like, yeah, and one of the girls might have to sleep with a producer. Like people would actually say this out of their mouths. And I remember me and my sisters, we would all look at each other like, what? And like just
Right,
be like
like Sophie's
so
Choice, like
disgusted.
which one is taking me out so y'all can be
Oh
famous?
yeah. And my mother would literally like cuss, she would cuss the person
Well,
out.
and
Shut
what's
would leave.
crazy is that they felt comfortable. So they had
Yes,
said that in front of mothers, and mothers had not said shit.
absolutely. Because you know why? Because there are a lot of parents with young artists that were coming up in the industry. They just wanted opportunity. So the parents would a lot
Listen,
like how
I
Usher,
will say
Usher
this.
was Puff Daddy.
Well, I
A lot of people, a lot of parents would pass the
Beyonce, I
on.
mean, I will say this from friends that I had working in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
My gossip that I heard, and
Yeah.
again, like this is just
Mm-hmm.
gossip, not
Yep.
pleasure tea, but gossip,
Yeah.
was that whatever his name is, Beyonce's dad
Oh yes.
went up to Nas first and was like, I think you should date my daughter. And Nas was like, because she was like 16 or something, and Nas was like,
Wow.
and anyway, and just sort of like didn't even just walked right by, was
Wow. Oh
like
yeah, happen all the time. And it's so normalized in the entertainment industry. And I just remember all the creeps and the producers that would literally oh my God. There were so many instances where a producer would be like, oh, you come in the studio with me. Your sisters don't have to be there. You just come with me. And it would be like, and so because we had gone through it so much in the industry, we were able to spot it right away and just like literally not deal with that person anymore and shut it down. But
and
there
do
are so
you think it affected your career? Like, do you
Oh,
think you would have
absolutely.
been able to have
Absolutely. 1,000%. We talk about that all
Mm.
the time. If we were willing to do whatever with whoever, oh yeah, we would have been
Right,
major,
you would have been up there with
not
Destiny's Child and well,
thousand
I
percent.
have to say this. I am glad y'all had your morals because then I wouldn't have met you. I would have been buying
Exactly.
your tickets,
Yes. Oh yeah.
talking about the Camilo sisters.
Exactly. Yes. We were protected, Malia. We were my mother was protecting us, but we were protected. The prayers were up because the
Right.
things in the
And
situation
also it
we were in.
affected you were protected at a cost.
Yes. Yep.
But at a not cost because you look at
Exactly.
the Britneys, the Justins, I mean
Oh,
Timberlake and Biebers,
yeah.
right? Like
Oh
because I
yeah.
think like this is how I think about it. Like when my mom came to that Marine base, not only was Ty's dad in there, so there was like that masculine intimidation energy,
Yes.
but like the whole community came together and like we had this whole scared straight thing. And
Hmm.
my uncle, who was like a Vietnam vet, was like, I'll tell you about what these Marines want to do to you. And he talked glory. He said glory hole. My mother's like,
Oh
okay, that's
gosh.
enough. Like there was this whole response of like, this is not how you all live. This is
Right.
not who you are. And I think that has allowed me to your point, like see things, but also make choices. I own my sexual decisions.
Exactly.
And so, there's something about the people who love you the most
Hmm.
looking away so that you can be famous. And I like that, I look at again Britney Spears'
Oh
father,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you
There's
know,
so
when
many.
you're willing to
Oh,
negotiate your kid's sex tape
oh
or
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh please.
like you
Oh
you
my.
know, your kid is
Those
not
are all
going
the
to
ones
be a
that are being
stable
talked about.
person.
There's so much that's not talked about every single day that happens in this industry and a lot of different industries, but I'm talking about entertainment because I know people and high level people, and I know people that are, emerging. And the things that we've experienced and that we've heard others talk about behind closed doors and what they've experienced, it is just,
And
it's,
it's powerful men, to your point, because I've seen it in business, I've seen it in
Mhm.
academia,
Yeah. Oh,
right? Like it's where men have power and women too. I don't want to say there's no women predators, but the stats,
yes. Yep.
you know, the
Yep.
stats make it so
Exactly.
that if every predator were to leave the earth, women would run the earth. Like
Right.
like there would be very, few powerful men left.
Exactly.
And so this, like it being so normal,
Mhm.
like that's part of this thing that has just been triggering. Like, again, when people with straight faces can say, well, a 14-year-old, and I just think about
Yeah.
me and my friend at 15, like we did not look grown. We
Right.
thought we looked grown. We had
Right.
braces.
Oh, yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
had new little boobies. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we
Yeah.
did not have, like we may have had a curve to us, but we weren't walking as if we knew what. And like, and fast girls, what, like there's no such thing as a fast girl. Like
Right.
girls don't choose, the one of the last stories, now that I'm at this rant, and then I'm going to shift us to a little something else, but I'm on this rant. I just want to say a fast girl is a girl not in a safe space, is a girl that doesn't have choice. Like girls do not make these decisions. And when I was working with Harry, we were in a juvenile jail right there, something that should not exist. And there was a child in there who was in jail for prostitution.
Oh my God.
She was 13. She was not of age of consent.
Wow.
Yet somehow everyone saw and was she on the street selling her body? She absolutely was selling her body for money. She was doing sex work.
Wow.
She was not of the age of consent.
Right.
So I just want to say that what I hope for us, and then I'll let you get the last word and then we'll go to, the journaling because I have a good exercise for us today. But I just want to say as my last word is that what I hope this moment does is make this unacceptable. We
Mhm.
had the Me Too movement in France, their Me Too movement, the hashtag, I'm not going to say it in French because I don't know the French words, but the hashtag translated to name your pig.
Wow.
And that's the hashtag that we need to bring here.
Yeah.
Name
Absolutely.
your pig
Absolutely.
because it is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
And you should be shunned, shunned, shunned.
Yeah.
And now, maybe there's a path. I don't know. Let's shun them first, and then we'll figure out how we get them back. But
Exactly.
the fact that from uncles, oh, my last shout out, B for Better. She's this Mississippi rapper, and she has this song called What's the Point? And it's a song about molestation. And like, it's not really about molestation, but like she starts off talking about, you say I'm supposed to be a good girl, this and that. Well, what's the point when my baby's daddy was 37 and I was 17?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This, and she goes on to say, like, you talk shit about Diddy, but you protect the uncles. Like,
Yep.
we're accepting it because we accept it in our homes because it might be the breadwinner. It
Yeah.
might be whomever's. And guess what? We'd rather be homeless. We really have to get to a point where like material shit ain't worth it. You got a girlfriend that will
Not
take
worth.
you and your kids
Oh
if
yeah.
something is happening to your daughter or your son. And just because it happened to you, it doesn't mean that it's right for it to happen to someone else.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, that was 2 rants. I'm
No,
ending like a
no,
preacher
no.
on a Sunday, Tanisha. Go
No,
ahead, take us out.
no, Malia, what you just said is absolutely the truth. And it's, again, goes back to like everything that we've been talking about. I think that we need to also offer some sort of action oriented guidance for, people that are going through this too. And so I think that donating to survivor-led organizations and trauma support centers is a really great way. Advocate for stronger trafficking prevention. Maybe in your town or in your city that there's definitely laws around this. Liz Miranda, she talks about things like this all the time. I feel like getting on board with like how they are, representing these spaces and how you can be involved is definitely a way, but being a safe space for someone and not re-traumatizing their experience, like listening, speaking up, advocating, being in that support system. And even if you're a teenager that's, I think that peers, like, they talk to each other. I think teenagers, they talk to each other. And so I feel like if you have a child that is of that age and you're like, oh, if your friend was to ever come to you and say something like this to you, make sure you bring it to an adult. Make sure that provide her with resources and comfort so that she's able to talk to you about certain things. Like, there's certain conversations that my kids have even had with their friends, and I'm like, okay, just listen to her, be a comfort for her, and just hear her out, because that child, you might be the only outlet for that child
That's it.
or her father. They
And then
have,
tell mommy if you're hearing anything that mommy says isn't supposed to be happening with kids.
yes, oh yeah, yes. So
Right? Because that's the thing too. You don't need, I feel like these children feel the need to hold these secrets and
I
da da
know.
da da
I
da.
was
And
so devastated if I ever, and I'm a helicopter mom, and everybody that knows me
right, no,
knows
you're gonna be like your
I'm
mom,
all
but
the mix. Like, literally, my sisters, they'll literally be like, "How are you on the phone and in our conversation and cooking at the same time?" I'm like, "That's just literally." I'm 10 places at once, and so with my kids, I'm even more heightened in that way. So like, I'm in every single conversation that they're in. And when as soon as they get home, I'm like, "Oh, what happened today? Oh, why did that happen? Oh, she said this. Oh, okay, why she said."
see, that's
I
how my mom
literally,
is too. And my mom
I
was also, and now I look at it, because my mom would also be like, the friends would come over here.
yeah. Oh, that's how I
Like,
am. Oh,
or if I would spend the night somewhere, my mother was over there.
oh
She
yeah.
would hang out for an hour, hour and a half.
Oh yes. Oh.
And then she would, and so these are these things that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you give them, because this is the other thing I think too.
Yeah.
My mother, sex, I'm not saying sex wasn't sacred,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't shameful. That's what it was.
Okay.
So like this idea, like,
Yeah.
my, like, me saving my virginity for marriage was not something my mother told me was important, right? Like, like, so I think for me, sex was something that was joyful and could bring me pleasure. It
Wow.
wasn't
Yeah.
something that I give to other people to be liked. It wasn't, like
Right.
the
Right.
way, and I think like for other moms and like our bodies ourselves have some great
Mm-hmm.
toolkits on this.
Yeah.
Um, Learning how to not make sex, because once sex becomes shameful, like it's then harder to talk about in so many ways. So
Right.
like,
Rather
because you can be a helicopter parent, but
than.
your babies are smart. They're going to go to college. They're going to build careers. They're going to be, and knowing that it's okay to walk away because being famous isn't as important as those things. Or
Exactly.
if it is, then you're not the victim. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to have sex with Harvey Weinstein. I'm about to become Julia Roberts. Like, that's the other
Exactly.
thing.
Right.
No hate on that. You know what I mean? Like, if, like not as children, but if you decided, when you were in your 20s that, well, let me just do something freaky with Cassie and Diddy real quick and get my album, like, if
Right.
it's consensual, it's not a big deal.
Exactly. It's your choice. But when it ever becomes not your choice and you are completely against it and you're saying no, and that's
Those are the things that are wrong. And, so yeah, I'm so glad that you talked about, we need to support the organizations that are doing it on the ground,
yes.
support the children. And that really leads into my purpose, power, pleasure journaling exercise. And as you guys know, it's not always journaling.
Yeah.
So, what our exercise is for now is to bear witness, whether it's to watch one of the survivors' interviews, if you can. Like, if you are a survivor, your exercises to bear witness to your pain, to
Mhm.
honor it, not get lost in it,
Right.
to honor it.
Yeah.
But if you have not, and you is to bear witness for others, and then do 5 minutes of journaling positive energy. Because right now, I think as much as there's physical things we need to do, we also just needed to be putting out our love and protection.
Yeah.
So, set your vision on either a survivor that yourself as a survivor, and then just send them for 5 minutes in your journal. You are loved. You are beautiful. We heal together. Just all the beauty and the love
Yeah.
for as long as you can. And if you're not a writer, sit there and say it.
Yeah.
But we need to actually get the energy out that
Yes.
these women are protected, because we know we're not. The
Right.
commercial said 5 administrations.
Yeah. We're not protected.
5 administrations. So, ladies, we love you.
Yes.
And we're now going to why don't we just take a minute?
Okay.
We honor all of us and our ability to heal and the power inside of us. And now let's just, because there's no good way to do these sequiturs, right?
Everyone deserves to be believed, protected, and supported, and we are here for you guys.
We're here for you.
You are a survivor and know someone, email us. We will send you more resources. We will also post more resources.
Yep. And you see the number here, you can also Google, like it was, I put it in Google and I found like a lot of, different resources. So there's text if you can't call, all of the things. So let's move into pleasure tea, but I have like a really funny rando pleasure tea.
Hey, let's hear it.
So part of my fun weekend is I had a friend in town,
Mhm.
and we were having our, how should I say, end of evening cuddles.
Okay.
And we had this like old school playlist going, and it was sort of like this ongoing joke for the night, like, because it was like the 90s, it had Jodeci, it had, whatever, like we were having a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden he's like, you know who my girl was back then? And I'm like, who? And he goes, Toni Braxton.
Wait, girl as in like real girl? Or?
No, but as in like, he was young, like we were young, right? We were listening. And he was like, she was just so beautiful in her voice. And he was like, what is it? Unchain My Heart. And he was like, oh, I just love that song. And so he had it kept up. And I decided to not say anything because I didn't want to ruin his teenage love.
That's hilarious.
But I was just laughing so hard because I was like, oh, here I'm having like this really like fun little like moment with a friend. And I'm thinking of fucking pleasure tea and our
That is hilarious. Oh, Toni's my girl. Oh my God.
I know, but that's why I wanted to be like, yo, Toni's the only one. They're off.
Yeah. Oh, she's going on tour with New Edition and how am I forgetting this? Because we're going.
Boyz II Men?
Yes. She's coming to Boston. This is going to be, I want to say it's in December because we're going. Me and my sister.
Wait, you mean this year?
Yes.
Damn. What? I wonder if she's coming to Hawaii.
She might be. She might.
A lot of folks like to end their tour.
You're gonna be gone.
They like to end the tour in Hawaii so then they can have some vacay.
Oh, okay. So they might
Let me keep my fingers crossed.
It's an amazing show. They were on Good Morning America.
Okay, you're gonna have to get some video.
Yes, I'm gonna get some video. It's gonna be
you and Joelle. Who are you going with? A group, just the two of you? Because that's a fun date night.
Like a sister's night out. Yes.
Right, and just come home to your man after the
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
sisters
That's
night. That's exactly
gonna be
he
so
would prefer that anyway. Let Tony
right.
Braxton do all the pre-work, and he just happy you home.
I
Tell
cannot
me all about it.
I cannot wait. It's gonna be so good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so do you have any pleasure tea for us this week? Anything on by the way, I think because we're talking about it and like we're posting it up, I'm now getting like the housewives updates
Oh, are
and
you?
all of this. So it's like hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy.
Mm,
Um, but I don't have a pleasure tea, but I do have, let me once again pull it up because you remember how I said I was going to occasionally and I should have had it up. You know what? There's a way I can do it on the computer.
so I did see something. Okay, so I don't know her name, and maybe you know her name. She's the ex fiance of, and I'm looking up on my computer right now, of Taylor Swift's new
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Kelsey,
yes, yes.
yes.
I guess okay, so I guess people are coming for her because on Halloween she did Tony Braxton. He's not man enough for me. She did the video as her like her costume and everything, and she looked gorgeous.
And the Swifties
Oh, what
had a right. The Swifties had
a
a
field day with her, and I'm like, can she just live for a minute? Like, why does she have to be talking about him? I'm sure he's not the only guy she's ever dated. Like, and she
but
looked
also he's happy with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift don't give a shit. Why do you?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what is this? So I saw that and I was like, okay, that's definitely like what is happening with this? Everyone's coming for her.
But
And
this is this problem with these damn hives, okay?
I
Like,
it's
it's the same with the Nikki and the whatever, like at the end of the day, like, why, like, you can appreciate your artistry,
right.
like, I love certain folks, but like, I don't have time to like
I
stand up for their
know. Like,
personal lives and
how for this. I don't know how they have time. Like it's just
no.
I don't understand how they have time, but I don't know why everyone's coming for her. Y'all leave her alone. Let her
Leave
live.
her alone. And you know what? Leave them all alone.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
y'all come for Taylor when she's trying to be her career woman. I tell you right now that Taylor don't give two shits about this woman whose name we don't remember. She is Taylor Swift. And if she does, she needs to spend some of her Taylor Swift money on some therapy.
Exactly.
Okay. Also, Kelsey don't care no more. He had his little jungle fever across the whatevers.
And it's over now.
She gave him some style. She probably gave him some talent that Taylor is now the beneficiary of.
Right.
Okay. So if this sister wants to have her moment to be like, Taylor Swift got my sloppy seconds,
Let her have it.
let her be. Because I tell you right now, if Taylor Swift got my sloppy seconds, that would be my pleasure tea
Exactly.
every other week.
Girl,
Every other week, I'd be like, and don't forget that time that Taylor Swift got you know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah.
everybody go back to your life. What
Yeah.
do the kids say now? Touch grass.
That's right.
Touch grass. Okay, so my pleasure tea
Oh my
is there is Queen Kim Creations. She does this thing called the Beautiful Black Men Collection.
oh.
And so this is my pleasure tea, ladies. Just a couple of seconds. Let's look at who's out in the world, who
Oh
is walking around on many different streets in many
wow.
different
And
countries. Okay, so let's just remember that there's a lot going on, but there is also a lot out there for us to enjoy,
yes.
for us to love.
Yes.
So, Tanisha, you got an affirmation for us today?
I don't have one today.
Because I forgot to check in. I don't have one today either. So, let's make an affirmation. Our affirmation to you all
Yes.
is that we can heal, we can be safe, and we demand nothing less.
And
We can
you,
heal, we can be safe, we
yep,
demand nothing less. And that affirmation just came to me. And make your own affirmations,
yeah,
text us affirmations, because that's how we get through.
yes.
So listeners, we love you and we have an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we started this and we love doing it. And so we're going to keep doing it. And in order to do it better, we're taking a small break, but we're going to keep on putting up like short content. Like if pleasure tea happens, Tanisha and I might jump on and do a quick pleasure tea or something like that. But we're talking to a couple of folks in like podcast
Yep.
worlds and productions and things like this. And so we're going to be taking a little break, figuring out how to make it better for you, coming back with interviews with women, with amazingness, with men, with just how we find our purpose, power, pleasure
Yeah.
together. So subscribe,
Please do.
follow both of us on Instagram, and we love you. And I'm so glad that I'm still going to get to see you, Tanisha, because I really appreciated us having these check-ins.
Oh my God, please. Oh my, I'm so excited. And into the new year, it's just going to be so much fun. We're going to have so much for you guys. And like Malia says, stay connected with us, like on Instagram, email us. We're going to be on TikTok soon as well. So you guys will be seeing some videos going up. And we're also going to have an audio version of our podcast. We're working on that.
Yeah, we're Spotify, so please please subscribe. It helps us get more into the algorithms. Because we are still going to be putting up content. But the next time when we bring you next season, it's going to be the same amazing conversation, just better produced with some interviews. So I also appreciate all of our listeners' grace and space as I've been doing the production, and Tanisha's been helping me through, like holding down when I need to quickly do something. We're a good team, girl. I look forward to us getting some help.
We are an amazing team, okay? We are an amazing team, and I'm so honored to do this with you, Malia, and to be able to provide this space for all of our listeners and with you. So, guys, we look forward to an amazing holiday season and into a new year of incredible podcasts and just conversation, and to stay connected with you all. So, thank you guys so much for joining us.